glanced over at Billy. I think his name was Billy. If it was, he'd be the third one since the walking boot came off, like the three Billy Goat Scruff. Trip trap, right into my bed. Especially after one too many Pinot Grigios, groping in a dark bar before stumbling to my Upper West Side apartment. He filled up my time like he filled up my bed, a temporary band aid. Screwing third Billy didn't make me feel better. Neither did fucking first or second Billy. It didn't matter who I gave myself to. It seems stupid that I'd held out for something special when none of it was special at all. Standing at the edge of my bed, goosebumps on my skin from hitting the cool air, the click click of the radiator echoing in the nearly empty room, I was surrounded by my life scattered in cardboard boxes. Billy murmured in his sleep and turned his head away from the light streaming in through the window. I stretched, arms raised above my head before looking at my foot. Tiny incision scars, marred skin, balanced by a pitch black pedicure. I grabbed a hairband from my nightstand and twisted my long brown hair into a bun. Yawning, I pulled a sweatshirt over my head, covering me to my knees. I sat down on the window ledge and spied a stray quarter against the grainy wood floor. Miss Nettie, my first ballet teacher, used to test her bun heads to see if we were ready for point work. She'd put a quarter in front of our bare toes and say, "Pick it up." The first time I did it, I was 11 and was in my first pair of point shoes the following week. I slid my foot out toward it and curled my toes against the rippled edge of the quarter, pressed tight into the ball of my foot. Still got it. I brought my leg back toward me without bending it before retracting it toward my body, bending over my knee inward. Envelope. An entire vocabulary memorized over 2.5 decades of training rendered useless. I spread out my toes and released the quarter into my open hand. Ta-da! Billy number three cleared his throat. He'd caught me with my toes by my eyes. I could have kissed them if I wanted to. I dropped my leg to the floor like a hammer driving down a nail. He needed to go. This wasn't some magical experience where two strangers met, shared a night together, and ended up happily ever after. I didn't want happily ever after. There was no point. I wasn't that kind of girl. I wanted to be left in my perfect little void. I'd have a few billies and be done with it. I had to protect myself. Nobody else would. Breakfast? Billy sounded hopeful. What an idiot. No. This was my new cycle. Do something that made me feel alive in the moment and after feel like a piece of my soul was torn out. A hunter impulse to conquer and destroy, fill up and pour out like a good glass of Pinot. I felt the brush of fur against my hand, and Reggie, my cat, pushed her wet nose against my fingertips. I stroked her head before she hopped into my lap. I rubbed my fingers against her chin when she sat down and purred. Billy climbed out of bed. Oh, Jesus. I'd fucked the Lucky Charms leprechaun. Though it was magically delicious, I was mortified. It was fun. I avoided his eyes as he got dressed, fingers still careening through Reggie's fur. I took a final look at the hustle and bustle passing on the sidewalk below. I missed my morning trek to the subway downtown to take company class before beginning rehearsals for the day, leaving Lincoln Center at night, ears ringing from the applause as I walked home. An ache followed me, mimicked by the pain at my foot, which startled me back to reality. The door shut behind him, and I kissed the top of Reggie's head. She needed her medicine. Scooping her up, I walked to the kitchen. My phone buzzed, and I answered, hitting speakerphone. Morning, sunshine. It was my big brother, Jerry, and surprisingly, it was still morning. I rarely heard from him unless he needed a babysitter or wanted to steal my Disney Plus account. Everything okay? Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Traffic roared in the background. 'Cause you never call me. I rolled a piece of tuna into a ball and shoved the pink pill into it before setting it down on the counter for Reggie to lap up. Good girl. It's my 35th birthday, and we're going old school. Brady's on Friday. Invite the girls. Brady's was the run of the mill local joint where the same guys got shit faced every weekend and trolled for the same neighborhood girls. A mirror of my hometown in Queens, a revolving door of the local construction guys, school teachers, and MTA workers. The same Brady's you dragged me out of when I was 16 because I was ruining your night with your friends. Now I'm welcome. You're not allowed to say no. I heard the blaring of a car horn. Gas is on the right, asshole. The car zipped by in the background of our call, and I tapped my toe against the floor. I still had packing and soul searching and whatever else an unemployed, heartbroken ballerina was supposed to do with herself. Also, Ma's worried. Since the event, aka my surgery, and the breakup that wasn't a breakup, she'd been calling nonstop. I wanted solitary confinement. Nobody seemed to understand. I grabbed a banana, peeled it, and shoved a piece into my mouth. I told her I was coming back home. That's not why. I'm fine. Anyone who says they're fine ain't fine. I don't want to talk about this with you or mom or anyone. It's over. It happened. The end. My thoughts drifted to my shattered foot. Bones split like broken wings, clipping me, nailing me to the ground, the same way I'd been stripped naked, tearing away the glittering tutu and crystal tiara, left cold, crying backstage. I wanted to forget the nausea that rose in my gut from the pain. I wanted to forget the moment I realized Nate didn't love me. Forget it all. A heartbeat, a breath. The dying swan beating her wings for the last time, folding unto herself before she relinquished to the sweet release of death. Daniela, are you still there? Yeah. Will you be there Friday? I heard the beep of the car locking, the rustling of plastic bags. My nephews shrieked in the background. To be that carefree again, to be happy. How did I get back there? Yeah, I'm moving home anyway, so. Did I want to usher in my new existence with a night at a local shithole? It would be appropriate considering the following day I'd be living in my new place in Queens, the place I was born. This was a fucking disaster. You could use a little fun. Little did he know what I'd been up to the past few weeks. So much fun. Billy grunted as he opened my bathroom door, tucking his shirt into his pants. My brows shot into my hairline. Oh my God, he was still here. Jesus Christ. He heard my whole conversation with my brother. He raked his fingers through his russet hair. We locked eyes. I blinked. I'm going to, yep, poof, gone. Trip trap, right out of my life. I made myself a cup of coffee. Hot in, hit the button, easy peasy, just like Billy number 3.